Hello beautiful. Today I'm super excited because I'm finally making a video that has been a long time coming. Today, as you read in the thumbnail and the title, is my mega topper guide for you. We are going to be talking about several different topics throughout this, from starting all the way till finishing and you have your topper. So buckle up. It is going to be a little bit longer. I will do my best to put timestamps in the description for you if you need to skip around. But this just shows you the wide range of different toppers that are available, specifically what would be right for you. So first thing we need to talk about is, what is a topper? A topper is not a wig. Sometimes they're referred to as half wigs or hair pieces, things like that. A topper, I'll show you one that I have here. This is my personal topper that I wear more frequently. This is a topper. It looks quite thick, like it would be a wig, but it isn't. It clips into my hair. It has clips on here that my hair stays down. This goes on top of it, blends in with my hair to create a much fuller style. When you have hair loss like I do, you do need a more progressive topper, which is why this is so large and has such a big base and so much hair, because I'd have a lot of hair loss. But not everybody has a lot of hair loss. So that's why I wanted to really start at like the smallest things that you can have and work our way to the largest. And anything that I talk about that I don't physically have here to show you, I will make sure to put a picture of them right here for you so that you can see anything that I'm referencing. So first thing, what is a topper? Like I mentioned, it's an integration piece that integrates with your own hair. It has clips, so they all use, all use some form of these pressure sensitive clips that you push down on either side, and then it clips into your hair. So for example, I'm just going to give you a really quick demonstration. It clips in to my hair and blends with my hair. Obviously you can see I haven't had my hair cut in a while, right? This is all COVID growth. So when I get my hair cut, it would blend in with that. The cool thing about it is you can put your hair behind your ear. There's no ear tabs like you would have in an actual wig. They can come with lace fronts, which is obviously what this one is, or without lace fronts. It all just depends on what you need for your particular hair loss, but they all have the same premise. They're gonna clip into your hair. Almost all of them have, every single one I'm showing you today has a monofilament top to them, where you can part it wherever you want. I'll get into what that is in the middle later on. Like I said, some of them are lace fronts like this that are meant to literally create a brand new hairline like that for me. Since I don't have enough hair there, it creates its own hairline for you. Or you could have one that does not have a lace front that is meant to integrate with your actual hair. So like this one here is a tiny little topper that we'll talk about that's meant to go back here. And there's no lace front. This isn't going up here. It's for a specific area of hair loss, which is in the back of your head. But this is what a non-lace front topper looks like. And they come in a whole bunch of different shapes. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and put up a graphic. That is the Jon Renau topper brand line. Jon Renau has some of the most extensive coverage options for someone who has hair loss. I tend to gravitate towards them because, as you can see, they have a ton of different toppers, all varying shapes and sizes depending on what you need. Not everybody's hair loss looks like mine. Some people just have hair loss right here in the middle. Some have it just a little bit in their part. Some of them are losing it in the crown. Some of them don't even have as much hair as I do, and they need a much bigger topper like these ones down here. So I use Jon Renau as it's kind of like a measuring stick for the topper game, so to speak. I think they do a really fantastic job in it. So we're going to talk about different shapes and stuff that are available as well. So what you're probably here for is to find out what topper is right for you. That is the important part here. And every single one of us is going to need to ask ourselves a couple questions. The first thing I like to ask somebody because I get this question a lot, first thing I like to ask somebody is, where is your hair loss? That's important. Like I said, I'm now looking at 7 8 hair toppers here, and all of them are for different places of hair loss. So for example, if your head looks like mine, my hair loss, and I hope you guys can still hear me looking down, but my hair loss is all the way at the front. I do not have a strong hairline. That's it. All of this is scalp, all of it. I do not have a strong parting space. And also, I have a little bit of hair loss in the back. Right back here. This is progressive hair loss. This is hair loss that has been progressing for quite some time. If someone has hair like mine, I'm going to be talking to more of the larger bases. If you have plenty of hair up front, but it's just a little sparse in through here, well, then I'm going to recommend a part topper for you. If you have a ton of hair up here, but you are more progressive up in here, then I'm going to recommend a base that you can plop in that may have a bigger base, but you can then blend your own hair with it and make it look like you're not even wearing a topper, which is fantastic. So be very honest with yourself. I recommend literally taking a picture of your head, or having someone else even better take it for you. Take it from the front, take a look at the top, and take a look at the back of your head, because the biggest important part is how big of a base you need. Whatever you do, you don't want to be clipping a topper into hair that is compromised. Hair that is compromised is more susceptible to traction alopecia. It's weakened hair, and you can literally cause more hair loss if you're not clipping it into healthy hair. For example, I don't have a ton of hair here, but I have a heck of a lot more up here. So if I clip a topper in, it needs to be like down here to clip in, or in the back, way back here. I am definitely more into a bigger topper, but not everybody needs that. So the biggest thing you need to do is you need to measure. If you don't have one of these, you'll need to pick one up before you get to a topper. You can get them at any supply store for crafts, but what you need is a fabric measuring tape. A lot of us already have this because we've been wearing wigs, and you've already measured your circumference, same kind of deal. What you're gonna wanna do, if you have frontal hair loss like myself, you're literally gonna start at your part line. So you're gonna measure all the way down until your hair loss stops. So you're gonna go all the way to the back here, and have someone help and make sure that, you know, I kind of know where my hair loss is to be able to, I've done this quite a bit on my own. My hair loss is at about an 8. So going back to where my hair loss is, it's right around an 8-inch hair loss. And then I need another number. Now you need your width. So you need to look down and grab it where your hair loss starts, which mine is about there to about here, is really where I'm losing most of it. And take a look at that. That is a 7. So that's my measurement of my hair loss. That is not the size of your topper. When you are getting a topper, the nice rule of thumb is you want to have it bigger than your hair loss. Again, we're looking to clip into healthy hair. So you're gonna wanna add on about an inch to each of those numbers. Now, granted, I need a lace front topper because I don't have a lot of hair up front. So I'm only adding an inch to the back here, an inch on the side, and an inch on the side. So by doing that, I come up with a 9-inch, because 1 inch is 8 inch, so 7 inches across. So 8 inches, 9 inches. And then the back is 8 inches, so another inch on that is 9 inches. So what I need for my base is a 9 by 9 inch topper. That's bare minimum, bare minimum. You can always play it safe if you're not entirely sure if you're clipping into healthy hair or not, and get out something that's bigger than that. But you definitely need to make sure that you're clipping into healthy hair. It hurts a lot whenever you don't have it clipped into healthy hair, and it'll pull throughout the day, and it's not a lot of fun. So now that we've measured and we've discussed whether or not what kind of topper you need as far as size is concerned, like I said, do you need a lace front? If you need a lace front, there's very specific toppers that you need. Do you want to blend your own hair? You have a nice strong hairline, you want to blend it? Fantastic, you have a lot more options. But unfortunately for some of us who do not have a very strong hairline, lace front toppers are a little bit more specific and typically come for more progressive hair loss. Then you're going to want to talk about hair length. And hair length is interesting. So when you're doing it, I recommend that you find out how long your hair is currently, or if you're wanting to get your hair cut sooner rather than later, you can go with however long you want your hair. But get a rough estimate of how long your hair is. So for example, let me pull my hair back over here. Since I'm right-handed, I'm just gonna take my tape measure and start where my parting line is. And I'm just gonna follow it all the way to the end of my hair, which is right about, oh goodness, right there. So I'm a little bit 20. I'm about 20 inches right now. The longest hair topper that Jon Renau currently makes is 18 inches. That's fine, because you can always add layers to your own hair and to the topper that will help you figure out exactly what size, or sorry, what length you need. So you can just simply have your own hair cut a couple of inches, get all the dead stuff off like I need to, have it layered some, take your topper to the hairdresser with you, have some layers added into it, and then bam, now your hair is nice and evenly distributed throughout. It doesn't look like a layered effect or anything. You've put both of them together to make one head of hair for yourself. That is my preferred method. By doing that, you can always go longer and have it cut shorter. You cannot add hair to a topper. So keep that in mind. If you're in between sizes, I recommend, or in between lengths, I recommend going with the longer version and then taking it to your stylist to have it cut for you. Color. Color is not as hard as you think it is. It truly isn't. You need to take a look at what your hair is for itself. Take a look in the mirror. Mine is pretty much an 8, between a 6 and an 8, pretty much. So I try to look for shades that are in that range for their base shade. However, you can always get something with highlighting, and I'm going to show you a topper real quick. So this one. This is a topper that decently matches my hair, right? But as you can see, there's tiny little highlights through here. This is Jon Renau's Hot Cocoa. It's my favorite color because it's a 6, which matches my actual hair, my bio hair. But then it has these beautiful highlights all throughout that's evenly spread. When that happens, it does a lot to help your hair blend, even the chunkier highlights. It simply just looks like you have like an undershading of all one solid color, and then you have highlights on top of it. If you get a topper that has dimension, has multiple colors in it, and as long as you're matching that base shade to your hair, that's all you have to worry about. The highlights are going to go a long way in making that look a lot more natural on you. So that is my overarching advice when it comes to color. Look for your base shade, add some highlights, makes it a lot easier to disguise. Just remember, you can make this topper fit you, fit your style, exactly what it is that you need. Just get a good base and go from there. Also, if you get a human hair topper and it's not quite the right shade, like for example, this particular one that I'm wearing, that is my normal go-to, as you can see, is a little bit warmer than my own natural hair up top, but I did that because my bottoms are almost always redder because of past dyeing of my hair. It's almost always redder, so it comes out actually as a pretty dang good match. No one's gonna see the top of my head. You're gonna want to go for more of the color that's gonna be showing, which is the bottom of your hair. To pay attention to that is your main color. How to wear a topper. There are a couple of different ways, and it depends on the topper that you're doing. So this is where we're actually going to get into the different toppers that are available. This particular topper is the EasiCrown by Jon Renau. It's a very interesting little topper. This is specifically meant for crown hair loss. Right here. Right here on the top of your head. That's your crown. That's where this is supposed to sit. It's meant to blend with your own bio hair. It's just meant to give you a little bit more volume. If you have any hair loss there, it'll help cover it. But as you can see, you do not have a lot of space in here, so your hair loss needs to be quite minimal for this to actually work well for you. Measurements of this, you have a base. Again, we're always looking at our base measurements. So if you're a person who has hair loss only in the crown, this is the topper that might work for you depending on how much you have. The base here is 6.5 inches across, but only 2.5 inches deep. So remember, gotta add an inch to either side. So again, this is mostly for volume, very, very minor hair loss. But you are simply going to take this topper, and I'm not gonna clip it in, I'm just gonna hold it because I'd be a lot of pulling on my hair for this video. You're just gonna take this topper and it's gonna integrate here with your hair, just like that. You would take pieces of your own hair out like that and kind of integrate it in. It's kind of interesting because it's gray. It's gray and my hair is brown, but you're simply just going to integrate your own hair and blend it in if you're wearing this, and it just adds a little bit of extra volume, a little bit of extra hair right there at the crown. Again, this is the EasiCrown by Jon Renau. All right, so that's one of the smaller ones. Actually, the first 3 that I'm going to show you are quite small. The next one we're going to be moving on to is for a very common particular type of hair loss. This is where you're starting hair loss. This is typically for someone who is just starting with hair loss. It's not very big. This is called an EasiPart, but it is significantly, it's probably close to the same size that way or this way, long ways, but it's meant to be for your EasiPart. Now, this still has the same pressure sensitive clips, 4 of them, and it has a polyurethane strip going all the way around. This is just simply meant to clip right in to the top, and you can see how ridiculous it is because I don't have a lot of hair there. Let's pretend like I had a lot of hair in my front, and you would simply blend this in with your hair, and then it has, this one is only 8 inches, so it only goes to right there, but it comes in longer lengths depending on what you need. But it only goes there to serve to blend with the rest of your hair. Wow, I look really silly. Just to blend with the rest of your hair, and then again, this needs to come out and blend. So you would just simply take that hair and brush it through, and you'd have a lot more hair than I do in the front, and that would work great. I've also seen people take it, change the way the hair is going, using a little bit of heat from their hands. This particular one is HD, so you could actually use quite a bit. And then they put it here in the back, and they pull it down in the back like that. And so now it's basically a crown. So I've seen people do it both ways. It just depends on where your hair loss is. It was traditionally meant to go like this, however, down the center of your part. The dimensions for this one for the base is 2.5 inches by 5 inches. So again, take your measurements, make sure that it works for you. All right, this next one's a fun one. This one is something, when I first saw them, they are EasiFringe. They are Jon Renau's bang topper. They're not your typical clip-in bangs though. These are not long bangs. So here is the entire thing. It's quite long, as you can see, so it's not, we're not doing this. That is not what these are meant for. I mean, I guess you could, if you wanted bangs, like bang bangs, you could bring these down and you could have them cut for your bangs, but that's not what it's meant to do. It's actually meant to go this way. And this is, again, meant to be set back just a little bit. Obviously, we've got a little bit of hair loss there from me, but it's meant to be set back a little bit and blended in with your natural hair and give you these face framing layers. Isn't that pretty? So it just adds a little bit of extra layers right in through here. They're meant to be more side swept bangs. Now, that being said, let's say you're like me, you have hair loss there, but just right there, and you just want to cover that with some bangs. Okay. Pull them forward like that. Get your straightening iron out because these are HD. You can go up to 350 degrees with them. Cut them across. And so when you come in for your day and you want to start your day, you don't have to have a lace front. You can just clip in right there and pull some bangs down. Easy peasy. This is, again, EasiFringe by Jon Renau. This particular one is their heat defiant 12-inch version. And the base dimensions for this one are 6.25 going across, and then 3.25 that way. So that is the end of our smaller bases. There is another one that I do not have that I wasn't able to get. I'm going to put it right here. It's actually a part of the EasiPart area. This is called EasiPart XL. So it's the same premise. of it being just your parting area. But as you can see, it kind of like bubbles out at the end. That's to give you a little bit more extra coverage in the crown. So this is taking you from a very early stage of hair loss, moving you more into the mid-range area. So if you do have, you're somewhere in the middle between just having some part and a little bit in the back, the EasiPart XL might be a good one for you. Again, these are non-lace front versions. Everything you've seen so far is non-lace front, and they are meant to blend. So make sure you have a nice strong hairline to be able to blend. All right, now we're moving on to the top notch. This is still a non-lace front version topper from Jon Renau. Top notch. Now we're moving into considered mid-progressive. These are considered to be mid-progressive. This is your middle range. You still don't have quite as much hair loss as I do, but you do definitely still have quite a bit of hair loss and you need more coverage. As you can see, we are getting into pretty large topper territory. Go ahead and show you the inside of this one before I try to put it on. This particular one top notch is getting into the larger, like I said, 6 3/4 by 7, 6 3/4 inches by 6.5 inches. That's all there is there. It doesn't weigh a ton. It's only 2.2 ounces. The tiny ones I already showed you were like 1 ounce. They're all very tiny, not very heavy at all. But this one's getting a little bit heavier at 2.2 ounces. This is meant to be worn on top of your head, but still blending with your front. You still need a nice, strong hairline for this. It has a polyurethane strip at the top, and you have a clip up here that's meant to clip in right here. If this clip does not feel good for you, you can always remove it, but I definitely recommend it if you can keep it because it'll keep your topper from moving on you when it's clipped in. But again, it's meant to blend in with your hair. This one actually, if you really wanted to, you could remove this clip. Let's say you're like me, you have front hair loss, but you want a bang. You could get this topper, remove this clip, put pieces of tape here, and tape it right here, okay? And then you cut bangs into it so that it completely hides the fact that there's no lace front. That's totally an option, but to do that, you need to make sure that you have plenty of healthy hair right here in the back because by pulling it that far forward, you're gonna be losing some coverage in the back. Again, you need to know your own hair loss. But here's where this one would go. It'd go about to like right there. You would clip it in and you would get it to blend in with your hair. Now you can start seeing that we've got more coverage. Let me get my hair down. Now you can start seeing, oh, we're losing the selfie stick. You're starting to get more coverage with this. I kind of love when a topper is a different color than my hair because you can really see the coverage. Let me turn around for you and show you the coverage in the back. Again, just pretend I have hair in the front. That's the back coverage. So definitely getting more into the mid-range. But this is a really great topper. This is a very popular topper. Now here's the option I was showing you with pulling it all the way forward. Let's pretend that clip's not there. And I'm gonna pull it all the way forward. See? Nice, strong hairline. You don't want that exposed. It doesn't look natural at all. But if you were to cut some bangs in it, and let's pretend they were cut like that, you'd be perfectly fine. There you go. But like I said, you lose some coverage in the back. So you just lost some coverage in the back by doing that if you pull it all the way forward. So if you don't need it in the back, you're fine. But if you do, you might need to actually go into something a little bit bigger, which is what we're about to get into here in just a few minutes. All right, I have one last topper that is not lace front, but this was actually purchased for me, even though I don't have hair in the front. This is a topper that I got knowing it didn't have a lace front, specifically to have a topper that's meant to use with bangs. Similar to the one I just showed you. Very similar concept. The only difference is this one is that it has a much larger base. So I can do that because I do have hair loss in the back. You want to make sure that that part is covered. So this here is the Noriko Malibu. And this is my personal topper that I just haven't cut yet. COVID. This is my personal topper I got to basically dye my hair a little bit darker and have this be one of my main go-to toppers with my hair being this long. The inside of it has a base of 8.5 by 9 inches. So technically that 8.5 is kind of pushing it side to side for me. But I've already reviewed it and it was quite comfortable, so I was okay with that. I'm technically probably getting closer to needing a 10-inch base, but this one will work for now until the rest of the hair keeps going. But as you can see, it has a nice, gorgeous monofilament parting space, so I can part it wherever I want. Has a nice strip of polyurethane there that is great for wig tape. You have your pressure sensitive clips. They're black, so a little bit harder to see, but they're all in there. You have extra clips. The bigger bases you get, you'll still always have 2 in the front, 2 on the side. This one just adds 1 in the back for you. But simply with this one, same kind of situation. I'm pulling it all the way forward. The clips now on me are right here and here. That's where the clips go all the way down. And in the back, it's right here. That's the clip in the back. And then here are the 2 on the sides. So that's where it's clipping. But as you can see, this has bangs. So my plan is to cut a bang in it completely across. And I don't have to worry about having frontal hair loss there because the bang will cover it. The thing I really love about the Noriko topper is all the gorgeous layers that it has. So this is a ton of layers. And what that does is when I can finally get to the salon, I can cut this dead bit off of my hair, just a couple of inches, and then get some nice layers in here, and this is going to blend very well. And once I make my hair a little darker. Unfortunately, Noriko does not have, in this particular topper, it doesn't have the wide range and variety of colors that Jon Renau does. Oh my goodness, this is just a mess. There we go. Noriko does not have the widest ranges of colors like Jon Renau does, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to match your hair. This is as close as I could possibly get. So it's gonna be a little bit of trial and error. If you're willing to dye your own hair, then it gives you a lot more options. Like I said, I can dye my hair just a little bit darker down here and this is gonna match perfectly. All right, so we have reached the end that I currently have of any topper that does not have a lace front. Real quick before we move on to the lace fronts though, I wanna show you one that I don't have, but one that is fantastic. And that is the Top Full by Jon Renau. Jon Renau is the only manufacturer that I know of that makes a topper in this large of a size. Top Full's base from side to side and length is 11.5 inches by 11 inches. That is fantastic for someone like me who has quite progressive hair loss. It's a ton of hair, absolute ton of hair. It's over 4 ounces in weight. So we're getting into wig territory when it comes to weight. Still allows you though to put your hair behind your ear, and it's still technically gonna be less restricting and less hot feeling. Even though it's a larger base, it'll still feel less than a wig, but it is still getting into that territory for the weight. My only current complaints with this one, and the only reason why I have not purchased the Top Full for myself, is it does not, as of February of 2021, have a lace front option. I have to have a lace front. It's not an option for me to go without one. So while it has a lot of extra features as far as having a larger base, it still is for somebody who has only hair loss back here. And if Jon Renau, if you're watching this, that is not representative of most women's hair loss. So please make a lace front version. Typically when you have women who have hair loss that is so extensive that they need an almost 12-inch base, they're going to have frontal hair loss. Almost nobody loses their hair and keeps just their hairline like that. I'm sure there's some people this works absolutely perfect for, they can still blend, but most women that I've talked to that need this base also need a lace front. So please make us a lace front, and that will be my new go-to topper for sure. But it's still gorgeous. It's fantastic. It looks just like all the Top Smarts I'm going to show you today, but it just doesn't have a lace front, and its base is a lot wider and longer. All right, into the lace front versions. I have 3 lace front wigs to share with, or not wigs, 3 lace front toppers to share with you today. This first one is by Bell Tress. Bell Tress is a heat-friendly style. You can go up to 325 degrees Fahrenheit on any Bell Tress style that you have. If you're in a John Renault heat-friendly one, you can go up to 350. If it doesn't say heat-friendly or heat-defiant, it is not heat-friendly or heat-defiant. You need to make sure that you know what you're doing. You do not want to put heat on something that cannot take it. You'll ruin it. So be careful. Here is a lace front topper. There is the lace front, like you all saw me earlier in the review guide, something, whatever this is now. It goes all the way to the front. It creates a hairline for you. It still has the extra clips. This particular one has 4. Still has a monofilament top to it, so you can part it anywhere you want. This particular one is a wavy style, which is really gorgeous. They have beautiful hair at Bell Tress. I just love it. So if your hair can take a curl, mine cannot. It doesn't stay in. Or you have naturally wavy hair and it matches this beautiful pattern by some voodoo. By all means, this is perfect for you. They also have a straight version of this. This is their 14-inch. It comes at 18 inches. It comes in straight. It comes in wavy. It's great. There's only one reason why this is not the topper for me, and that is the size of the base. The base here for Bell Tress is 6.5 by 6 inches, so it's not big enough for my hair loss, as you guys saw. Doesn't change the fact that it's gorgeous and it's a lace front, and I want to show it to you. So it's on the lace up front. Look at that. Look at that hairline. Bell Tress did a great job, a really good job with this topper. So if your hair loss is not quite as progressive as mine, look at that. That's so natural. No one's gonna know that's a topper. No one. And we'll get into how to secure those in a second. Obviously, you know that with the other toppers, you clip them in, you blend your hair, you go out the door. With lace fronts, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more of a procedure, but we can still get there. We can still wear them. We can still make sure they're not gonna go anywhere. So that is the Bell Tress. Oh, let me show you the back. Sorry. I just realized I didn't show you the coverage of this one in the back. Put my hair back there for you. So in the front, this is how much coverage you have without even having my hair in front. This is just all topper. And in the back, that's the coverage you're working with. We are now down to the last 2 lace front toppers that I currently have. One you have already seen, that is my personal, both of these are my personal toppers. This is the Top Smart. It comes with technically a clip that goes right here, but I removed that clip. You can imagine that's not too comfortable right there. That clip has been removed. Very easy, seam ripper, X-Acto knife, scissors, kitchen knife, whatever they are. They're just tiny little threads. See those little, oops, if I can not drop it for you. See those tiny little circles? That's where the threads are right there, and on the sides, just 4 little threads hold it in. You can rip those right out. Top Smart, there are several versions of this. This is the human hair version. There is a synthetic 12-inch. There's a human hair and synthetic HD version. That's 12-inch, 18 inches. It doesn't go any longer than 18 inches, but yeah, you can get human, regular synthetic, or HD synthetic, all of them in the Top Smart. They will all have the same lace front. They will all have around about the same density of hair, quite a bit of hair in these. The human hair version is a little bit longer, actually, than the synthetic version. For example, this is me in the synthetic version of the 12-inch topper, and then this is me in the human hair version of the 12-inch topper. And then this is me in the synthetic wavy 12-inch version. As you can see, the wavy and the human hair are a little bit longer than the regular straight synthetic, but it's the same way as the Bell Tress. You're simply gonna put it on, you're gonna pull it all the way to the front of your head, pull it back just to your hairline there, and it creates its own hairline for you. Mine, as you can see, is a little bit more opaque in the center. That is because of that thing that you see added to underneath my wig. That is called Scaraway. You can get this both in the brand Scaraway or in a off-brand It doesn't matter. They all work the same. It's simply a flesh colored bandage that has no sticky on one side and really sticky on the other side. It creates a nice flesh tone for the top of your wigs, especially with a topper. When you have your own hair, you don't want that showing through. I highly recommend this method. This has been washed several times. That's not going anywhere. It'll stay in there for the life of your wig. It's not going to ruin anything either, so it's fantastic. But this is the Top Smart by Jon Renau. And then this is the Top Smart Wavy by Jon Renau. Exact same topper, it just has a wave to it. This is synthetic, and this is human hair. Human hair, synthetic. The synthetics have gotten so good. I mean, you would not know that that's synthetic, but as you can see, the inside of it is exactly the same. There's the place where I took the clip out, but it is the same on the inside. So popping that on, go straight towards my front. There is my hairline, and as you can see, this one is wavy. Ooh, please don't fall off my head. And this is about the length of the 12-inch with the wavy, and I will show you the back. They definitely, almost all toppers that I've seen have more hair in the front here and a little bit sparser in the back. Well, that's because you have hair and it's meant to blend in the back. The top full, if most of your hair loss is in the back, the top full is definitely for you. It has a ton of coverage in the back. You could almost, I don't want to say you could, but you could probably almost get away with a top full and wear it like a wig if you had like short hair, but you might be pushing it. But it is a ton of hair, definitely more like a wig. So now we've talked about all the different types of topper that I personally have had experience with, that I can show you a picture of. There's tons of other brands out there. This is not meant to be inclusive of just Jon Renau and Noriko and Bell Tress. You know, Raquel Welch has toppers out there, but they all follow the same premise. They either have a lace front or they don't. They have clips. All of them have clips. And then you're either meant to blend your hair or you're meant to basically tape it down. So if you're blending your hair and you have a couple of sparse areas, a good way to take care of those sparse areas is a little bit of eyeshadow. If it's really tiny, little bit of hair loss, a little bit of eyeshadow can kind of blend in, especially if you have some grays or something like that. Just take something that matches your hair and you can blend it right in. That helps to cover. They also have these things called hair fibers. I'll put a picture of them here of the ones I used. They basically spray on and they have like this static electricity that helps to keep it into your hair. Warning of these, if it rains, it's gonna be coming down your face. You do not want to use hair toppers if you know, or sorry, hair fibers if you know you're gonna be sweating or you're going swimming or you know you're gonna be caught in the rain. Probably not the best bet. If you're using it specifically, I would just put on a wig at that point. Okay, so we've seen how to blend toppers using our own hair and everything in clips. For lace front toppers, you don't have to use a tape or a glue, but I highly recommend it. There is a movement when you have a topper on. So for example, let me just go ahead and put this on for you. If I wasn't going to use tape and I was only going to use the clips of the lace front topper, given that I don't have a ton of hair, you would see a little bit of movement. So I'm not going to clip it in, but I am going to hold it as if it was attached to my head, which is all great, fantastic. It looks nice, but like there's still this movement, right? Like if you were to brush your hair off to the side, if you were to try to pull a ponytail, you'd still have a bit of movement. So what I recommend you do is to tape your lace fronts. What I like to use, you can use whatever you want, just make sure it's lace front wig tape is what you're looking for. I personally like the Walker's Blue tape. I have had this tape for a year, around about. It was bigger. It was like about to there. I'm about halfway through it. But it's fantastic. You simply just grab a little bit of it off. It's double-sided. This backing comes off. You clip off what you need. You stick it on your lace really firmly, and then you peel off the backing, and now you have double-sided tape. When you put it on, you're going to press it firmly here into your hairline, and then the hairline, the actual lace itself, is secured. If you don't like the tape method, you can go with something like It Stays. It Stays looks like this. That is a roll-on method that you're going to put onto your skin and then put your topper down or your wig. You can even use it for your wig lace fronts. to secure that to your face. This is another product that is quite widely used for wigs in general and toppers alike. This is the blue one. I'm sorry, this is not blue. This is definitely yellow. I know my colors, this is definitely yellow. There's the yellow version. This one does not dry as clear and hold as fast as the black tube. So if you can get the black tube, they were out. So that's why I have the yellow one. The yellow one works, totally works. But when you remove it, it's gonna have a little bit of a residue. I've been told that the black one has a little bit less of a residue, but I've never tested it for myself. I've always had this one. This one I had for 2 years. I hardly ever use it. So basically what I do with that is whatever my tape doesn't hold down, if there's just like a little stubborn piece of lace, I take like a little tiny like rat tail comb. I don't have a rat tail comb, but like the tip of a rat tail comb, and I scoop just a little bit of it out, and then I just kind of dab it underneath my lace and then secure my lace down. And then typically I'll take my hair dryer on the cold setting and hold it on there until the glue dries entirely. That's what I like to do. So the cool thing about using a glue or a tape with your toppers is that you can then loosen some of your clips. For example, I don't have a lot of hair here. So as you can see, with having very sparse hair through here, if my topper clips here, that's not a lot to grab onto, and I'm gonna start getting some traction alopecia. So what I do when I'm wearing my topper is I completely do not clip these two. I'm only securing using the two sides and the one in the back and then the tape up front. Toppers don't go anywhere. This is where I have pain now with my hair loss. If I had a top full with a lace front, it would come down to about here and I would be much more secure down here. So using the tape has not only the benefit of making sure your lace doesn't go anywhere, but it also allows you to, if you need to, loosen up some of your clips. There is a way to do painless clips. So some people have talked about having a wig grip, to wear a wig grip with your toppers, and you can, sure, you could technically wear one. You're gonna wanna wear it more like a headband. Let me see if I have one. So this is a wig grip. They are meant for wigs specifically, but this is a traditional wig grip, and people were asking, well, can you use these for toppers? Well, let's see if you can. So I'm gonna pull it back further, because again, I'm wearing a lace front, but you're gonna wanna secure this under your hair if you're wearing a wig grip. This is kind of difficult. What are we gonna do? We are gonna do a ponytail first. Let's do that. We're gonna do a quick ponytail, and then we're gonna put our wig grip on so that we can secure it with that. All right. So I'm gonna keep my hair back so it's not in the way. We're only gonna look at toppers. So the wig grip is on, right? And I'm not clipping it. I'm just gonna put this on with a wig grip. So, I mean, it helps to not get it to slip. My main concern with this would just be you need to find a way to get your hair down. So like, it helps it to not slip, but now I have like this headband effect. That's not gonna go great with your topper because you can't really blend it. So you would need to pull this hair out, essentially, down here. Let's try that. This is just trial and error right now. I've never done this, but a lot of people ask me if you can wear topper or wig grips with a topper to help it stay on, and I never actually tried. So now I'm gonna actually clip it. Only the front ones though. Oh, never mind. Psych, you can't clip it. The wig grip is right there. So if you taped it down and you were using your side clips, can you use your side clip? Yeah, okay, so I can get my side clip in there for sure. Those can clip, the back can certainly clip. All right, so you're gonna need to pull some of your own bio hair out for sure, right up here in the front. That's my hair, to blend it. But I would say, yeah, you totally can wear a wig grip And you can see, I'm just gonna hold on to the topper. That's all I'm doing. It does help it stay a little bit better, actually. So if you want to experiment with wearing a wig grip and a topper, I fully think that's a possibility. And I might, yeah. You don't see it when you pull your hair behind either, because the wig grip is right. The top ones are not, these front ones are not clipped. That's where the wig grip is. So obviously I can't use those clips because the clips are actually hitting on top of the wig grip. And if I tried to wiggle them underneath the wig grip, it'd probably be not in line with my hair. But it works out pretty good. So that is one thing that you can do. That's a cute look, right? Additionally, what I don't do this because I don't think my hair can handle it. But if you have a topper that is minimal, like some of the first toppers that I showed you, if you want to give yourself a little bit more grip for your clips, I'd recommend back combing your hair. So wherever your clips are going to sit, just grab, I don't have a short or a fine tooth comb, but you guys know how to back comb, right? Like you're just gonna back comb like this and kind of rough up your hair, clip into that. That's going to give you a little bit more something to hold into. So that's something you can also do. Another thing that I've seen people suggest is a little bit of hairspray, especially if your hair has been freshly washed. Sometimes the clips can get a little bit slippery. So just a little bit of hairspray, some back combing, that's going to give the clips something to really hold on to, and then that's not going to go anywhere. That will also allow you to loosen up your clips a little bit so you don't have any type of pulling. If you feel pain, if you feel pulling on a hair topper, you don't, either a couple things are happening. One, you don't have it correctly applied and you're pulling on your hair and you shouldn't do that. Loosen them up a little bit. Or your topper is too small for you and you're not clipping into healthy hair. And if that's happening, you need to go up a size. So again, just to recap, measuring is the most important thing you can do. Where is your hair loss and how big is your hair loss? Once you find out those two things, the rest is honestly a little bit more simple. Get something longer than your natural hair. If you want to have it match your hair exactly, you can always cut your hair appropriately. Now, if you have shorter hair, you're going to want to get something with nice layers, and you're going to want to layer your hair to blend, of course. The color, make sure you're matching your base hair color, and then you get some highlights to help it blend for you. And the rest of it is all about customizing what works for you, the length that you need, everything. It's very subjective. I can't tell you this is the topper you need to buy. It depends on your hair loss. It depends on a lot of different things. So I hope this video has been helpful for someone that's brand new learning about toppers. I will have a link in the description of all the products that I've mentioned and where you can purchase them, as well as tons of other links that I've always purchased that go to my Amazon affiliates. I do get a very small commission on those if you use those, but you guys can feel free to use those links if you would like. Otherwise, if I missed something, if you have any additional comments or something that you feel that another brand that I might not be aware of that has a fantastic topper that was not something similar to here, please mention those in the comments. That really helps other people as well that might be looking for those. So last thing, if you really like this content, I do content like this a lot, a bunch of wig reviews, topper reviews, unboxings, guide videos, everything. So please make sure that you click your like button for me. That helps the YouTube algorithm help to recommend this to more people, as well as subscribe to my channel if you don't mind. And until next time, bye-bye, beautiful.